And we are live. We're back with yet another one. It's your boy Dominic Rich, and it's ready, set, go. Live 2 days in a row. Today's live stream, we got to talk about Napoli decimating Juventus as your boy actually tuned into the Serie A match and actually ignored the Premier League game. Well, I actually tuned into the Premier League match between Aston Villa and Leeds for the last 20 minutes or so. So, I did catch a little bit of it. It was quite entertaining, I have to say. But the highlight of today, it has to be Napoli completely decimating Juventus 5-1. And the last time Juventus had such a beating, it was back in the 90s, according to the commentators, right? And they suffered that by the hands of Pescara. And interestingly enough, Juventus's manager, Max Allegri, was playing for Pescara that day. So crazy stuff, man. That was a very, very entertaining match. I don't think all Serie A matches are that entertaining, but that was a high-profile game. Napoli, the league leaders, looking to win the championship this season for the very first time in about 3 decades. The last time they did so was when Diego Maradona was at the club, and the stadium, of course, now renamed to the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium, and that was a big victory. That was huge. That was very, very entertaining, and Juventus ought to be ashamed of themselves, though. But Napoli, what a performance. Putting 5 past the best defense in the Serie A, who had only conceded about 7 goals up until then. That is nuts. That is nuts. I am actually, I don't want to jump the gun, but I'm kind of already convinced that Napoli are going to win the Serie A this season, because even though they had that slip up in the that game, who was that against? Was that against AC Milan that they lost to? Let's just double check that, because we don't want to make any mistakes when it comes to that, right? So Napoli, let's find them. They are in the Coppa Italia that we want to check out first. They did lose. That was Inter. So they lost to Inter, bounced back against Sampdoria, and beat Juventus 5-0. 5-1, pardon me. But before we actually get into this game, let's warm up. Let's warm up with some Coppa Italia. So since we're over in Italy, let's just run through the results from the round of 16 that we have so far. And we have Inter beating Parma 2-1. We did touch on that briefly. Buffon was actually involved in that game. Lautaro Martinez. Well, young Stanko Juric in the 38th minute for Parma. Inter had to come from behind with Lautaro in the 88th and Francesco Acerbi in extra time. Look, my bad, man. Big up everybody in the stream. Do appreciate you guys coming through for yet another one. It's all about consistency. Torino did beat AC Milan 1-0. I didn't even notice. So it's a good thing I'm looking at the Coppa Italia that was played on Wednesday. That was on Wednesday. Today's Friday. So I definitely didn't notice. But Mikel Adopo in the 114th minute. The game went into extra time, and with 10 men after Kofi, Gigi got sent off in the 69th. Torino went on to beat AC Milan and to move on to the quarterfinals of the Coppa Italia. We move on. Fiorentina 1, Sampdoria 0. That was yesterday. In this game, Antonin Barak, 25th minute, and Jason Murillo got sent off in the 93rd for Sampdoria. So Fiorentina move on. The next game here, we have Roma 1, Genoa 0. Paulo Dybala in the 64th minute as the World Cup winner helped Roma to move on. Mourinho's Roma to move on to the next round. So big result there. Roma look good, though. Roma look good. I like the look of Roma. Been doing pretty decent this season indeed. And the next few matches in the Coppa Italia, we got those games coming up next Tuesday. Napoli versus Cremonese. Atalanta play Spezia on the Thursday. Lazio play Bologna, and Juventus take on Monza. And that'll round off the Coppa Italia round of 16. So big up to everybody, man. Big shout outs to each and every person in here. We got Angel in the house, DVB, Elijah Lawson. What else we got in here, man? Yeah, big up everybody, man. Make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button. We got DVB saying Kvaratskhelia is on another level. Need see him bring Georgia to the Euros. I hope Man City signed Kvaratskhelia in the summer, man. We need a speedy winger, you know what I'm saying? To be honest though, let me keep it real, man. Let me keep it real. I like Grealish, but he's not cutting it on the wings though. He doesn't have enough pace. He really doesn't. I'm not saying to sell him or get rid of him, but he doesn't fit the wing man. He doesn't fit in that City over at the wings. I would definitely like to see Grealish come a bit more central, but not on the wings at all, man. I really don't like him on the wings, seriously. So put up the table. We're gonna check. We're gonna definitely get to the Syria. Definitely get to the Syria. But yeah, Kvaratskhelia is definitely a steal, 10 million euros. And Napoli, who we're gonna get into, did some great business in the summer, man. So let's go, man. Let's go. Let's take a look at the Syria. Look at the Syria, and let's do this. So, all right, I almost bumped myself off the live stream, but let's go to the Syria, and we're gonna talk this game. Definitely taught this game. That was the first game of this week's matches, match day 18. Tomorrow there's Cremonense Monza and so on and so forth. But the match at hand is Napoli versus Juventus. We're going to talk about the game a bit, and then we're going to put up the league table. All right, guys? So let's get to the game, and let's just run through the goals. I don't know if I'll remember every single goal, but I did watch the match. Most of the game I watched while I was driving as well, dropping my wife to work. So best believe, I didn't see every single movement of the ball because I had to keep my eyes on the road. But most importantly, I did tune into this game. Something that I didn't do a lot in the past was watch the Serie, watch La Liga, and other leagues. I was always watching the Premier League, man. But, I'm making some changes, guys. Some life changes. Victor Osimhen, 14th minute. And that was a ball into the box. Kvaratskhelia with the spectacular attempt. And Victor Osimhen to head in the save. Brilliant save there made by Szczesny, but not good enough. So Victor Osimhen on absolute fire in this game. Did set up Kvaratskhelia for that 39th-minute goal. After Juventus just kept making a whole lot of mistakes, man. So giving the ball away, bad back passes, and they were made to pay. The defense was all over the place, especially Bremer. Let's check their defense so you guys get a idea. Alexandre Bremer, Danilo, 3 Brazilians were dog shit all night. Just to keep it 100. Chiesa at right wing back, he was just a spectator playing that's out of position for Chiesa. He does not belong there, and it showed. Definitely showed. The team was all over the place defensively, and Napoli, a team with a very attacking mindset, made them pay. I have to say that let's be fair to Juventus. They had a good opportunity to Di Maria, who hit the woodwork. Amir Rahmani was kind of shaky at the beginning, and Napoli's defense was tested in close quarters. Very good ball movement by Juventus for that goal there by Angel Di Maria in the 42nd minute. Very, very good goal. And I was like, okay, Juventus back in the game. We have a game on our hands here. But in the second half, man, the corner routine, Amir Rahmani slamming that ball into the back of the net. Brilliant, brilliant. I don't know why the Juventus players were actually protesting, but that was a hell of a strike for the defender who were having a horrible game in the first half, but that actually helped him grow in confidence. Osimhen again in the 65th. Ball into the box. Kvaratskhelia. Brilliant header past Szczesny. And Ilif Elmas off the bench. Oh, man. Sent the defender the other direction and smashed it in, deflected into the back of the net. All 5 goals there in 72 minutes, putting Juventus to the sword and Napoli stamping their authority on the Italian league. I like this. I like this because for years, for seasons, this Napoli team, they've been threatening. Remember the Maurizio Sarri? They came close on a few occasions but fell short. And it was Juventus always breaking their hearts, man. And it looks good, you know what I'm saying, for the Serie A that we're not seeing Juventus, who won 9 Scudettos in a row, just continue to dominate the league. And the thing with Juventus, they were doing well. They were on a really good unbeaten streak. They were very good defensively, the best in the league. Napoli, after the World Cup, they've looked a little shaky. Kvaratskhelia, he hasn't been at his best prior to this game, but best believe he showed up, man. And that's one thing that Inter did well when Inter beat Napoli a few days ago. Well, we'll say a week or 2 ago, right? They held down Kvaratskhelia. They really marked him out of the game. And Juventus weren't able to do that because, of course, they had Chiesa play that right wing. You can't have Chiesa marking Kvaratskhelia. He just kept knocking the ball, running behind. He was tormenting the hell out of Juventus defenders, man. So, you know, when Juventus seemed like they were pulling things back, they were climbing up the Serie A table, Napoli say, man, listen, bro, get down here. Where you do? Where you going? Where you going? You're bright. Get down. So brilliant, man, brilliant. It was nice watching Victor Osimhen dominate, man. He got in behind on a few occasions, but got foiled by the goalkeeper. He's deadly, man. He's deadly. And it's crazy that he came out of the Belgian league. So it just shows the kind of recruitment that Napoli has going on there. You see the stats, 14 shots at goal, 10 on target, 61% of the ball, man. When you're talking about attacking prowess, this Napoli team is exemplary. They epitomize that attacking, attractive style football. Look, Liverpool could attest to this. They were put to the sword when they did go to Naples. And Juventus, same fate, man. 11 shots, 2 on target, only 39% of the ball. They were well beaten and dominated on the night. And that's fair. That's the best analysis I could give of this game. And for me, who I'm not a regular viewer of the Serie A, but after the World Cup, I said to myself that I'm going to make a change and start watching more Serie A games. And so far, the games that I've tuned into, they've been pretty damn good. You see what I mean? I'm not saying I'm going to tune into Spezia versus Cremonese or anything like that, but the more high-profile games, I do plan to watch. So, look, let's start Napoli. Let's start their standings in the table, and let's scroll down. They are 10 points ahead with a game played more than AC Milan. Juventus, 10 points ahead of Juventus. This is ridiculous. Almost halfway through the season, Napoli, they have to keep up this momentum, and that's going to be the challenge here for Luciano Spalletti and his men. Keeping up the momentum, keeping their foot on the gas, their feet on the gas, because we know once Napoli starts scoring, they don't let up. They're unrelenting, and it's going to be a big challenge because if we go to the table, right? Let's go to the table and let's look at the retroactive tables here. 2021, Napoli third, 79 points, 7 points off the top. We go to 2021. Not so good, 77 points still. You know what I mean? They did pretty okay, but not in terms of the table. 2019, not great. But we got to go back to the Maurizio Sarri days, right? Second behind Juventus, 11 points. We go back 2017-18, second behind Juventus, 4 points. They should have won the league. They really should have won the league this season, right? The 2017-18 season. I think that was where they started to do really, really well. Third in this year, only 5 points off Juventus. So they've been really teasing to win the title. Second again, they're behind Juventus. So this has been going on for some time. It has really been going on for some time, where they were the bridesmaids for quite a few seasons, came close, but close is not good enough. We're talking championships, and it's looking like it's going to be a Napoli thing this season. First half of the season, they're the champions. But could they keep up the momentum and be crowned champions of Italy for the first time since Diego Maradona was at the club at the end of the season? Could this be a reality for Napoli? Because we checked the team, right? Let us check their squad. Let's definitely check their squad. Let's go over the transfer market really quick, and let's check Napoli. We're going to go to Napoli, and I want to take a look at some of the business that they've done. And this is to highlight how, well the club has been run, right? Where's Napoli? Come on, man. You guys are playing. You're playing. All right. So we got Napoli here, right, guys? And we check their squad. This is very important because in order to have a good long run in the league, you need a quality squad. And you take a look at the goalkeepers, Sirigu, how experienced he is. You got Alex Merritt, who's the number 1, of course. Very talented goalkeeper. So in the goalkeeping department, they're okay. You go down to the defense. I'm not going to act like I'm a Napoli expert, but I do know the players around Napoli. We look at Kim Min-jae, came from Fenerbahce, and the South Korean, very highly rated, been linked to Spurs in the past, and he's definitely one of the signings of the season because he's held things down at the back. Amir Rahmani, remember he used to play for Dinamo Zagreb a few seasons ago. He's been good, got injured, kind of, been out of form. You take a look at Leo Ostigard, center back here, brought in from Brighton. I hope these things are all right. Once it has the green, they came into the club. Juan Jesus, he was formerly of Roma. So they do have the talent. They do have the stock to go the long run. Look at the fullback positions. Matias Oliveira, who we saw today, came in from Getafe. Mario Rui has been picking up a lot of assists. One of the best fullbacks in the Serie A. Giovanni Di Lorenzo, the Italian international, how good he's been. They brought in Berezinski for his backup in case, something happened to him, the pole in this window. You look at Frank Zambo Anguissa. Didn't really work out at Fulham, but look at what the man's doing at Napoli. Mainstay in the midfield, one of the best in the league. Stanislav Lobotka as well. So you look at this team and you're like, okay, do they have the legs? They got the players. Diego Demme, I didn't even realize he was still at Napoli, formerly of RB Leipzig. He doesn't see a lot of game time. But you look at the quality of this team. Piotr Zielinski, Tanguy Ndombele. I forgot Ndombele was there. He's probably injured right now, but I haven't seen a lot of Tanguy Ndombele, but he's been enjoying a good loan spell over there at Napoli, at least for the first half of the season. Ilif Elmas, who scored, one of the best players, if not the best player from North Macedonia, along with an Innis Body. And you just look around the team, man. You just look around the team. I don't know every player from this team, but you look at Kvaratskhelia, you look at Herving Lozano. They have the squad. Matteo Politano, who's been having a great season. Giacomo Raspadori, who's been coming off the bench for most of their games. Osimhen and Giovanni Simeone, who came in from Hellas Verona and has been having a good season, right? We take a look, guys, at the squad and the stats. Let's take a look at the stats. Let's see who's been, providing the goals for Napoli. Let's take a detailed view. And let's just click the goals, right? That's what we want to see. Victor Osimhen, 11, 3 assists. Look at Kvaratskhelia stats. 10 assists, guys. 10. That is absolutely ridiculous by the Georgian. Only 21 years old, 8 goals to go with that. God damn. Listen. The man's putting up Mo Salah numbers. Zielinski, 6 goals, 7 assists. So you see the goals are coming from all over, and that's very, very important for a team to go the long run. You know what I mean? To go all the way and to keep pressure on the rest of the teams. Giovanni Simeone with 6, Raspador with 5, couple assists, Politano with 4, Elmas with 4. You see that? Lozano with 4, even Anguissa chipping in with 3 and 6 assists. So you see there's contributions all over the field. And I always talk about this, right? That it's important to contribute from midfield. Goals from midfield will help you out a long way. Even goals from defense. You see Kim Min-jae, Juan Jesus, you know what I mean? Giovanni Lobotka, you know, Di Lorenzo, Stanislav Lobotka. You see, there's goals coming from everywhere in this team, man. Mario Rui with 7 assists, guys. 7. You see what I'm saying? That's how good this team has been, and it is no surprise. No surprise at all. You could add a goal to Rachmani there, but no surprise that this team is doing this well. And the thing is, right? Look at this, right? Current season's transfers. Let's take a look at that, right? And it's important, very, very important, because look at the outgoings. These are the outgoings. Kalidou Koulibaly to Chelsea, Fabian Ruiz to PSG, Arkadiusz Milik went to, he was at Marseille, but of course, he ended up at Juventus, right? So you got Adam Unas, who was, part of the team for some time. He went to Lille. Just some of the more recognizable name. Petania and all these guys wasn't really heavily involved, but the players that's very important to this setup. Lorenzo Insigne went to Toronto. David Ospina was in goal. Dries Mertens heavily involved in this team, and look at what they're doing right now. A lot of players out on loan, but look at what they're doing right now. We look at the incomings, right? Look at the incomings. Look at what's important. So let's just go back down and see how much they made. They actually made 80 million from sales. Very good, very good. And they actually spent 68 million and brought in some budget signings. Kim Min-jae, 18 million. And look at what he's been doing. Frank Zambo Anguissa, 15 million. Look at what he's doing. Mateus Oliveira, 11 million. And most importantly, the signing of the season in terms of the Serie A, 10 million for Kvaratskhelia Kvaratskhelia from Dinamo Batumi. Ridiculous. Bringing in Raspadori on loan, 5 million euros loan fee from Sassuolo. Great signing. Giovanni Simeone on loan from Hellas Verona. That might be permanent eventually. Tanguy and Ndombele on loan from Spurs as well. So it's been some very, very good signings. Very, very good signings, man. So I just did this to show you that it's not a fluke, right? Talked about the game, 5-1 against Juventus. Touched on the squad, what they've been doing in terms of players contributing from all over the field. And we took a look at their transfer business to see how they replaced the backbone of their squad that left in the summer. Congratulations to Napoli, man. They should go on to win the Serie A from here. Really should. If they miss out, that'll be shocking. It'll be shocking indeed. So, big up to Jamal Griffith for dropping a super chat, man. Do appreciate you, bro. $4.99 super chat for your boy. Forza Juve, he said. Questo e la mia squadra. What does that mean, man? What does that mean? All right, bro. Thanks for coming through. If you're still around, you say you got to catch the replay. Appreciate you coming through. Big up to BLE reviews. Big up to 8744 in the house. Elijah said Napoli is absolutely amazing. Can't wait to see them in the UCL. I think they will surprise everybody. All right, so that's what Napoli are doing. We touched on that. And let's go back to the Syria. Let's go back to the Syria, right? Let's go back Syria. And we taught Napoli. Guys, of course, we have to talk a little bit about Juventus, right? So, look, they look all over the place, man. They really did today. And is it one off? It could be. But they look like they did during the Champions League where they came they came in last in their group, didn't they? Let's just double check something really quick here. Juventus standings, bam, Champions League. Juventus. Did they I think they came in last in the group, right? So it's third. They came in third. Might as well say they came in last because same 3 points as Haifa, right? Haifa with the terrible goal difference. But that was shocking, though. Shocking indeed. Benfica topping that group. PSG coming in second. Juventus third. Maccabi Haifa fourth. And while we're there, we could also give a notable mention to a special club by the name of Napoli, who topped their group ahead of Liverpool, Ajax, and Rangers. So, shout out to Napoli. But Juventus, they didn't look good in the Champions League, but they pulled things back in the Serie A. They really did. They're third, 37 points. They've only lost 2 times before this game, 4 draws. They've been doing well. They're third. They're in the Champions League spot. They look like they'll pick up a Champions League place, right? You won't tell from this game that they just played, but overall, they look like they pulled things back after a choppy start to the season. And they still do have the best defense in the league, even after conceding 5. But before this game, they only had conceded 7 goals. So it is absolutely shocking that they conceded 5 goals. But it's a Juventus team that is still, of course, gelling with the signings that they made in the summer. You know what I mean? Guys like Kostic, you look at Chiesa coming back from injury. You look at guys like Milik coming in fresh. You also have Dusan Vlahovic, who's not been there for a whole long time. So you have guys like Bremer. The defense look very shaky. You have 2 fullbacks playing as center backs in Alexandro and Danilo, and you have 2 wingbacks who are like playing out of position. Well, Kostic do play on the left wing quite a lot, but still, Chiesa does not belong where he played at all. So the tactics didn't work. The 11 didn't work for Juventus. Di Maria, I have to give a lot of credit to the big game player Di Maria, who I think were their best player on the day. But him alone couldn't do it, though. He really, really couldn't do it by himself. And we checked the Juventus lineup, right? Guys, you see exactly what I'm talking about. Locatelli got slapped in his mouth. Basically summed up what happened to Juventus on the day. Rabiot was quite absent throughout the game. And it was just a disjointed performance by Juventus. Mose Ken came off the bench to, see what impetus he could add. Didn't really add much. Youngsters Fabio Miretti, Mattias Sula, and Samuel Illing Jr. were put out there to gain some experience. Leandro Paredes. These guys didn't really have any effect on the game, though. But it was an entertaining one, and it's Napoli that came out on top. Victor Osimhen is a beast. Kvaratskhelia is out of this world, and this team, very, very exciting. And I hope they do go on to win the Serie A, though. But guys, we will be talking about the Serie A as the season progresses. And in terms of matches coming up, we got Cremonense playing Monza tomorrow, Lecce versus Milan, Inter play Verona, Sassuolo, Lazio, Torino, Spezia, Udinese, Bologna, Atalanta versus Salernitana, Roma, Fiorentina would be a massive one, and Empoli, Sampdoria. So 2 biggest games of the weekend, Roma, Fiorentina, and the Napoli, Juventus, of course. So we'll definitely be back to talk about these games the next time I go live. So we check the stats, guys. Victor Osimhen with 12 goals, leading the charge. Lautaro with 8, and Zola with 8. Marko Nautovic 8, Ademola Lookman, Chiro Immobile, Edin Dzeko, Kovic Kvaratskhelia, and Rafael Leao all with 7. Kvaratskhelia leads the assist chart with 7. Sergei Milinkovic-Savic with 7 as well. Gerard Deulofeu, Mario Rui with 6. Philip Kostic, Lorenzo Pellegrini, Nicola Barella, Pieta Zelensky, Rafael Leao, and Roberto Pereira all with 5. So, guys, that's my roundup of the Serie A. How are you loving it, guys? I hope you actually enjoy that. Hope you were well informed. We do appreciate everybody in the house right about now, man. Guys, make sure you smash the thumbs up button for the stream. Would definitely appreciate that. So, what we're going to do, guys, we're going to move on. And we were live yesterday, so we covered quite a lot yesterday. So, what we're going to do, we have some big Premier League matches coming up this weekend. So, we're going to talk about those. But before we do, right, if there's anything that you guys want to actually touch on, if you want to ask anything, feel free to do so indeed. So, once again, shout out to everybody. AD, keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing. All the best and congrats on the, becoming monetized on your YouTube channel. That's very, very important. And anybody looking to actually do some YouTube, man, just go for it, man. Go for it. This is a new year. Go for it. Could always ask me for a few pointers. Go for it, man. That's why it's called YouTube. Go and share your thoughts on the games, on the sport, on YouTube. So, let's talk the Premier League. Let's move over to the Premier League, right? Let's not linger too much. Let's go over to the Premier League and let's talk about the game that was played today. Aston Villa 2, Leeds United 1. We won't be here talking about this for 30 minutes because I didn't watch the whole game. Just watch the back end. But it's actually nice to see Leon Bailey on the score sheet with a goal in the 3rd minute. Didn't see the goal. Emi Buendia in the 64th minute, but I did see the Patrick Bamford goal there where Leeds did, look the better team towards the back end of the game. So Wilfried Nanto, man, he looked really good. And he has looked good in a couple games that I've seen him in. And he's definitely a great addition to this Leeds United team. Bamford scoring his first goal in a year. Leon Bailey really needed that. For Emi Buendia, that was to his confidence a whole lot of good. Let's take a look at the 11 that Unai Emery put out, man. So, Unai Emery, Luca Dean, Tyrone Mings, and Enzo Konza, Ashley Young, with Emi Martinez back between the sticks. Leon Bailey, Douglas Luiz, Boubacar Kamara, Jacob Ramsey, Ollie Watkins, and Emi Buendia. This team looks good. A lot of firepower over there with, on the left side and the right side. Solid in the midfield. And, there's always some disaster with Tyrone Mings at the back. But sooner rather than later, they should get Diego Carlos back fit and ready to go. So, off the bench did come their new signing as well. Definitely got to mention that. Alex Moreno, who was brought in from Real Betis. Morgan Sanson, who scored during the cup match where Villa ended up losing to Stevenage. Danny Ings, Philip Coutinho as well came off the bench. So for Leeds United, man, setback for Leeds, but they've been playing really, energetically as usual. And they've done fairly okay this season, but they can't, they can't really take their foot off the gas. They have to just keep trying because they could get dragged back into a relegation scrap, and you don't want that. You really, really don't want that. So let's just take a quick look at the stats and the league table where these teams are respectively. So Leeds dominating the shots with 16, 4 on target. Aston Villa 11, 5 on target, 55% of the ball compared to Leeds 45. So very physical game, 30 fouls, 2 yellow cards shown for each team, and no corners, interestingly, for Aston Villa in this game, 11 for Leeds United. So in terms of the table, guys, Aston Villa, same amount of points as Chelsea, but with an inferior goal difference, or 11th. And Unai Emery, since he came in, has already picked up more points than Frank Lampard. So not Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard. I don't know why I said Lampard, but Steven Gerrard. So big up to Unai Emery. It was a great call, I have to say. Sacking Steven Gerrard, who had seemingly lost the dressing room and the trust of the players. So 11, 25 points, not bad for Villa. I don't think they got to worry anything about relegation halfway through the season. They projected to get about 50 points, and that'll be good. That'll be definitely a step in the right direction. But with Unai Emery in charge, he's going to look to do a lot more. And come this summer in the transfer window, expect Villa to bolster up that back line. Indeed. Leeds are 14th with 17 points. They have no wins in their last 5, so they need to pull things back big time. But not a bad first half of the season, I have to say. But they need to improve on their second half, and a few signings during the transfer window may actually help them to do so. So that's just quick, reaction to that game. Didn't see the whole thing, so that's the best I could actually do. So what we're going to do, guys, let's take a look at what's coming up in the morning. And don't forget, guys, Fulham did beat Chelsea yesterday, 2-1. Let's do a quick recap of that just to remind you all that Chelsea are in free fall right now. Willian in the 25th, Koulibaly in the 47th, João Felix on debut sent off in the 58th, Carlos Vinicius with the winner in the 73rd minute for Fulham, who are doing really, really well, and they climb up to 6th in the league, 31 points, as Chelsea are 10th with 25 points. A lot of pressure on Graham Potter. Pep Guardiola said, let him have some time, and I think the Chelsea board should actually listen to Pep. You know what I'm saying? Pep does have a lot of credibility, and I think, they should listen to Pep. Let the man have some time to mold this team. A lot of injuries right now at the club, and let him bring in a few players. Chelsea splashing the cash, of course. Don't think that's talked about enough. But you know what? Let's just solve all the problems with throwing money at it, right? Definitely. So, guys, let's just go back. And take a look at the 8 games that we got. Well, actually, Chelsea and Fulham play this weekend. So we got 9 games coming up. Quite a few tomorrow, and we got some massive ones. Guys, we're going to touch on some transfers before we get off of here as well. I want to take a look at my Reddit page. We won't be super, super long. You know what I mean? Not planning to be super long. So, Man United play Manchester City. And let's talk about the derby a bit, man. Let's definitely talk about the derby. And surprisingly, I had my most popular tweet ever when I shared the results from the last match. And look, man, look. The results from the last match, guys, we know it was 6-3. Foden and Haaland with hat-tricks. Anthony, he scored 1, and Anthony Martial with 2 late goals there to, just give United some consolation goals. But that tweet over on my Twitter, 243 likes, 16 retweets, 23 comments. I never had such a popular tweet because I'm not big on Twitter. I just go over and, say my piece from time to time, but I'm not like heavy in Twitter though. So that was nice to see. Indeed. Guys, follow me on Twitter at Dominic Rich FC. If you want to say hi, if you want to, communicate through some tweets and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So, look, let's get back to the game here. Let's just have some context. Let's scroll down a bit. We should have some things here. All right? I guess it's just on mobile, right? We have some recent matches. So, what we're going to do, let's go over the transfer market really, really quick, and let's get a quick recap of what happened between these teams recently, right? Remember when I did the Premier League previews? I used to do this for every single game, but not going to do this anymore, man. So See a comparison between the two teams there and everything, guys, head to head and all that good stuff. But in the most recent meetings, 6-3 for Manchester City, 4-1 for City, 2-0 for City on the road as well. And United's last win came at the Etihad with a 2-0 win. And that was in March of 2021. So, okay, pretty inconsequential if you ask me. Still did go on to win the league. Before that, semifinals of the EFL Cup there, 2-0 win for Manchester City. That was a one-leg semifinal, and previously there was a two-legged one. I remember they did pick up a win against us too. So United in the last 10, they do have 4 wins in that stretch, and City do have 5 wins. So, but when you check some of the wins there for United, it wasn't really consequential because not like they went on to win the title or anything. You see what I'm saying? It didn't happen. So I think this is the 189th derby, if I'm not mistaken. And in terms of the overall head-to-head, this is not 100% correct. But overall balance, Premier League in the Premier, that is. I don't think that is correct though. I really don't think that is correct. We don't need. That's not so important because United had their period of dominance when Sir Alex Ferguson was in charge, and then since he left and Man City got taken over, it's been Manchester City. You know what I'm saying? And there was a famous quote where Sir Alex Ferguson said that Man City would never come into a Manchester derby as favorites. And of course, guys, they did get slapped up. I think that was like 4-0. I think that was 4-0. I'm trying to find the game. Let's see if we could find the game, man. Let's go back and let's find that game. Let me see that game that we're talking about. Not the 6-1 game. Not the 6-1 game. But I think it might have been this 4-1 match, you know. Let me see. Because the takeover happened around here. And then I think it's probably the 6-1. So there's been 6-1 in 11-12, 4-1, 13-14. We click the 4-1. Let's scroll down. Yeah, David Moyes was in charge. I think it was this game. So Alex Ferguson was actually in the stands watching this game. You know, so yeah, man. It's been a lot of beatdowns over the years by Manchester City. United did pick up their wins. As you guys could see, there handful of wins in between, but they've definitely got a couple beatdowns over the years, man. Man United's best win, that was that 4-2 win across the last decade. But it's been City who's been dominating. Let's go back to the 6-1 game, man. And that was at Old Trafford too. Sir Alex Ferguson was in charge. Yesterday we were talking a lot about Mario Balotelli. You see that? Balotelli, Aguero, Jack. Listen, man, the City team, and this team's been very good for a long time. This team, well, let's say since the takeover, the team's been very, very, very good. Aguero, Balotelli. Damn. You know what? I had planned to pick up the City Group membership, the City Plus membership, and go back and watch like a couple seasons because I didn't watch these full seasons, of course. But I had planned to do that, but never really got around to it. So that is still something that I actually want to do because these teams, man, these Manchester City teams over the years have definitely been very, very, very good. And it's just got better and better and better over the years. So, look, we took a look at basically the history there, recent history, talk a little bit of smack. And what I want to do is to take a look at what the lineups could actually look like, you know. So let's just go back and let's just go back again. So let's go back. Right. Bear with me a little. Eric Ten Hag versus Pep Guardiola. They've met once, and that's in a 6-3 beatdown. 1 game, 1 win for Pep, of course. And against Man United, Pep has 21 matches, 12 wins, 3 draws, and 6 losses. Pretty sure some of those came when he was at Barcelona. Yep, and at Bayern Munich. So most of definitely the losses came when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was in charge. So a lot of the losses. Look at, I think all the losses, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5. I think most of the losses came when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think 4 of them. Let's just check this one. Who was in charge here? Yeah, 4 of the losses came with Ole in charge. So Ole was just, his kryptonite. So we want to take a look at the potential 11s, right, that the teams could put out. All right, so what we're going to do, let's just go back. Let's just get the last Man United game, which was a cup game, and I don't think that should be a reflection of who should actually play for United, but let's just try to gauge who should actually play in this game. Let's take a look at a game against Bournemouth, right? We got the game against Bournemouth, and in terms of injuries, guys, we're not going to do this for every single match, but I want to look at the Manchester Derby and the North London Derby. So Anthony Martial is a doubt. Jadon Sancho, he's not involved. Danny Van de Beek has been ruled out for the rest of the season. Diego Dallo won't be involved. Mason Greenwood, of course, not involved. Axel Tuanzebe not involved. So pretty much have a lot of the squad available. Expect to see David De Gea in goal. Don't think we're going to see someone else in goal. So David De Gea in goal. Who's going to be at right back? Wan-Bissaka? You know what? Let's just go to the game against Charlton here. I just want to, let's take a look at this. So Dallo played the game against Charlton, but he's now injured. So definitely might be Wan-Bissaka. Or who knows, man? Ten Hag's been, switching things up. I think if we go to the game, there was a game where, was it this game? Where Luke Shaw played at the center back. Yeah, you see that? You see this game right here? You could see this happen too. You see? But I doubt, because you have guys like Maguire fit and ready to go again. So let's just go to the last game so we get an idea of who's available and who's not. We already called the names of the players who's not available. So let me see. I really don't know if Varane would be available, but he's not on the injury list, so we might see Varane starting. So let's take a look at the 11, man. So De Gea in goal. It might actually be Rafael Varane and Lisandro Martinez at center back. Left back, Luke Shaw. Right back, most likely Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's been linked with a move to a couple clubs. Crystal Palace wants him back, but I don't think Man United could afford to actually sell him right now with Diego Dallo not 100% fit. So I think it's going to be Wan-Bissaka. Surely not Maguire. I would love if Maguire plays, seeing that it's a Manchester derby. But I'm trying to name the strongest possible Manchester United 11 with the players they have available. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Lisandro Martinez, Rafael Varane, and Luke Shaw with Malacia on the bench. We move into the midfield. I think it's going to be Christian Eriksen, Casemiro right there. Christian Eriksen, Casemiro. Move further ahead. This is not the best lineup to actually gauge what the team would look like, but still, we're going to use it. Definitely going to use it. And up top, I think Marcus Rashford would play over on the left. We might see Anthony from the right, Bruno Fernandes through the middle right there. And up top, who's going to play up top for United in this game? That's a big question. Is it going to be Wout Weghorst or would it be Anthony Martial? subject to a late fitness test. Is it going to be him? Any feedback, guys? Any feedback? Any feedback? Does Grealish start tomorrow? Not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance whatsoever. In terms of City, right? Let's go to Manchester City. Let's go to Manchester City and let's try to gauge who. Well, let me give you the 11 that I want to actually start, right? So in terms of injuries right now, Ruben Diaz is ruled out and he's currently being assessed, but I don't think he's going to actually feature. And John Stones is now ruled out again. So we're without two center halves, which means we have Akanji, Nathan Ake, and Emerick Laporte to choose from. I don't know what Pep's going to do. I really don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. But let's bring up the 11 from not the Southampton game, but the Chelsea match. This is what I think should actually happen. And not this Chelsea match either. This Chelsea match. So, Edison in goal. Edison in goal, of course. Kyle Walker at right back. So, he did play three. Well, I don't think that was a formation. Kyle Walker at right back. I don't know. I think Pep might be tempted to play Rico Lewis. Because Kyle Walker, he wasn't that good in the game against Southampton. He played at a center back. So I actually think Rico Lewis is going to start this game. I think Pep likes the versatility of Rico Lewis and his energy. He's also very quick. I think he's a Kyle Walker regen, but just a little better. So I think Kyle Walker might be on the bench to actually provide that cover if we need him. But who would I start? Pep might go with Rico Lewis. It's a tricky one. It is a tricky. This is very, very tricky. Cancelo has not been at his best. But I like Cancelo's creativity. I really like his creativity. So to make it easier, Akanji and Laporte at center back. And I'll play Nathan Ake as the left back. Because he's very good defensively. Not bad going forward. So we need that strength in defense. Because we've been kind of frail at the back. And I'll play Kyle Walker. I don't want to experiment too much. So I'll go with an experienced backline of Ake, Laporte, Akanji, and Walker. With Stones and Diaz ruled out. Just ahead of them, Rodri. I don't want it to be a double pivot. So I'll say Rodri. I like when Ilkay Gundogan is in the team to give you that impetus going forward. He make runs into the box. So I'll say Kevin De Bruyne and Ilkay Gundogan. Erling Haaland up top, of course. I'm going to have Riyad Mahrez play at right wing and Phil Foden with Bernardo, Julian Alvarez being options. I'm not saying they're missing out or anything, being options off the bench. So Foden, Mahrez, Haaland up top, De Bruyne, Gundogan, Rodri, Ake, Laporte, Akanji, Kyle Walker, Edison. You have Cancelo you could bring off the bench. You have Rico Lewis. You got Grealish. You got Bernardo Silva. If you want to bring Calvin Phillips, you want to bring, Julian Alvarez. A lot of options off the bench. But I don't think this is a game for Pep to play around with because United are playing some good football. I'm going to keep it real. They're playing some very, very good football, especially at Old Trafford. Let's take a look at their recent record. 3-0 against Charlton, 3-1 against Everton, 3-0 against Bournemouth. That's all, after the World Cup. 1-0 against Wolves. 3-0 against Forest. They've won every single game after the World Cup. So we can't underestimate them. We really can't. This is a derby. Anything could happen. Form might not be a big factor. But I'm telling you, man, this team is on absolute fire right now under Erik ten Hag. And You can't deny that. You really can't. You can't. You go back before the World Cup. You see this EFL Cup round of 16 game, December 21st. I even forgot to include that game. But we go back before the World Cup. 6 games after the World Cup. 6 games. They've won everything. Every single thing. Okay? Before the World Cup, November 13th, they won. They beat Villa in the EFL Cup. Look at this. Aston Villa did beat them in the league. That's their last loss there. Beat Sociedad in the Europa League. Beat West Ham. Beat Sheriff. Draw against Chelsea. Beat Tottenham. Draw against Newcastle. Beat Amanoya. Beat Everton. Beat Amanoya again. And the only blips in Man United's form for a while is that loss against Manchester City the last time we played them, and the loss against Aston Villa, which is quite remarkable. I gotta give it to them. We go back to September for that loss against Sociedad. These guys are the only team that beat Arsenal in the league. You see what I'm saying? So they've been good. I can't deny it. They beat Liverpool. They slapped up Liverpool already this season. Can't deny it, man. Despite the loss against Brighton, Man United have been good. Look at that. They got 4 losses. 4 losses, but they've been good, man. They've been good. I got to give them the credit. They deserve the credit. 35 points. If they win the Manchester derby, they only go 1 point behind City. Same amount of games played. So, you got to give Jack his jacket. You got to be fair. Much as I want United to lose every game, you got to be fair and acknowledge that they've been playing well. At least do that. See what I mean? I don't think it would be fair if I was actually talking a bunch of smack about them right now. They've been good this season. The decision to bring in Ten Hag, it's proven to be a good one. It is. Okay? Takes a lot of balls. You got to be a man to admit these things as a rival. So, look, for City, the form has not been the best. I don't know if Pep's experimenting. I don't know what he's doing sometimes. But this game against Southampton was an absolute worst. It was an atrocity of a performance. Right? Worst performance I've seen on the Pep Guardiola. But a positive to take from that is that City needs to bounce back. And the best game to do so in is the derby. Perfect stage to bounce back is the derby. You don't want to lose twice in a row. A draw won't be a bad result, but right now you don't want to draw. You want to keep the pressure on Arsenal, because if Arsenal does not win the North London derby, then you close the gap. You see what I mean? You close that gap to about 3. You see? And that's what the aim is right now. To hunt down Arsenal, get on top of the league, go on to win the league. 3-peat, baby. That's the goal. But the form has been a bit iffy. Wins against Chelsea 4-0, 1-0. But the draw against Everton is kind of suspect. See what I'm saying? Very, very suspect. Did pick up an EFL win against Liverpool, beat Leeds, so it's not been very bad, but these are not good results right there, man. The draw and the loss there, not very good results. And these are games that you have to look at and say, okay, this is how you beat Manchester City. Okay, I see. Because I'm telling you, man, you want a blueprint of how to beat City? Just go watch the Southampton game. Just go watch that game. Watch that game. And you'll see exactly how to beat Manchester City. We weren't good at all. We weren't good in that match. Not at all. So, big up to everybody still in the stream. Appreciate you guys still in here. Make sure you guys smash up the thumbs up button. Big up to Adriana, who said maybe Ten Hag from Ferguson's hair dryer. The thing is, right? Hear this, guys. Hear this. It's the battle of the bald head managers. I think Ten Hag is a bit balder than Pep. Because Ten Hag's whole head is bald. Pep kind of slack off and, don't really shave his head that often these days. but it's a battle of the ball head players, man. You see what I'm saying? So, what else we got here? Pep claims he has a crazy plan ahead of this Manchester derby. What do you think it can be? To be honest, man, I hope it's not a plan where he's overthinking. You see what I mean? I really hope so. Because we can't afford to lose to United right now. We really can't. We can't lose back-to-back games. We can't. It doesn't happen very often, and it can't happen. We got to go to Old Trafford, and we have to slap him. We definitely got to smack him up, man. But if you look at the table, City with only 2 losses this season, 3 draws, I think that's enough. Enough is enough, man. Enough is enough, okay? 12 wins. If we check last season, how many wins did we get? We got 29 wins. You see that, right? 29 wins. 29 wins, which means we got to win every game. We got to win the games for the remainder of the season. We go back to 2021. How many wins? 27 wins. So we could do it with 27. The previous season, we got 26. Liverpool won the title. That previous season, 32 wins. You see what I mean? You're not looking good in terms of the wins, man. We got to look. There's only 21 games left. 21 games. We got to win, let me see, at least 18 of those. Come on, let's go. Let's go. And let's make the first match tomorrow a big W. I just hope Pep doesn't go and overthink stuff. Play the best possible team. The players go play switched on and go on to win the Manchester derby. But best believe it could go any which way. As much as I talk shit on Twitter or whatever and say, taunt the United fans with the last scoreline, 6-3, it might not be a 6-3 game. You see what I mean? If United manage to keep Erling Haaland quiet, stifle the creativity of Kevin De Bruyne, cut off the crosses from the wings, then it could be a whole different ball game. Remember, Man City, very, very vulnerable on the counter-attack. And if you have guys like Rashford, who's been in great form, running in behind, Edison, who sometimes, man, I don't know. Sometimes he seems like he can't stop a ball to save his life. You get in behind, best believe you're going to beat Edison. So a lot's on the line. Man City could close the gap between them and Arsenal. If Arsenal fail to win, for United, they could close the gap between them and Manchester City and also Arsenal if Arsenal doesn't win. So this thing could shape up very, very interestingly, right? If City lose, United are then in the title race. It is that simple. United in the title race. Because if Arsenal slip up and United keep winning, United they could be on top the table. I like how it's shaping up, but I'm hoping for a win tomorrow. Prediction? Ah, boy. Do I want to play it safe and say a draw? Do you want to have some balls and say we're going to lose the game? Oh, man, guys. I think we bounce back and win this game, United, they've been playing well. Casemiro been playing well, but I just think defensively, they kind of iffy right about now with dealing with some injuries. Players not 100% fit like Varane. I hope Maguire plays. That'll be definitely a big gaping hole for us to go and score as many as we want. But if you look at the last game, we scored 6. We're definitely the favorites coming into the derby despite Man United's great run of form. They say when it comes to a derby, form sometimes goes out the window. I think we'll win this game. I'm going to go for a close one, 2-1. 2-1. 2-1 for City. Guys, share your prediction in the chat. This is not a prediction show, but for this game, I just wanted to drop my prediction, man. Talk to me, guys. Talk to me. What are you saying? What are you saying? City have to beat Arsenal? Yeah, man. Definitely. Adriano, if that's a secret, buy Potter a Manscaped kit. Yeah, Potter probably needs to shave his head and try something else, man. Definitely. So Adriana is saying 2-1 to Manchester. Who? Which one? Come on, which one? Elijah Lawson. 2-1 to City. Man United will score first. Thanks for dropping that prediction. Guys, drop the prediction, man. We're live. We talked about the Serie already. We've been live for an hour. Talked the Manchester Derby. We got BX Gunner in the house. Big up to the boy BX Gunner, who's saying 3-1 to Manchester City. What else we got? Guys, drop your prediction in the chat. Let's participate in the live stream, man. Come on, you guys could do a lot better than that. I know you could do better than that. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button as well. Come on. You guys could do way, 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 way better than that. Let's do this. So, look, we went back and let's take a look at the upcoming games, man. Any more predictions? Angela Reyes, 2-2. BLE Reviews, 2-2. Yeah, man, guys, appreciate you dropping your predictions there. I like when you guys participate. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me as well. So, look, what we're going to do, let's take a look at the games that's coming up tomorrow as well. Wolves versus West Ham United. Well, guys, Wolves are looking to bolster up their team. They've been making some signings. You know, West Ham, they're going through a bad run as well. So this game is wide open. Winner takes, you know, it's basically somewhat of a 6-pointer, right? Towards the bottom of the table. Let's go down. So West Ham 15 points, Wolves 14 points, 18 games played. If Wolves pick up a victory, they are out of the relegation zone. If West Ham pick up a victory, they will jump to maybe about 13th. So it's a huge game, man. It's a huge game in terms of the context of the league table and, you know, how these teams progress through the rest of the season. And both these teams need wins. Prediction, this one's going to be tough. Lipotegui in charge. I really want to make too much predictions right now, but this one is tough, man. This one is tough. Wolves ain't looking good at all. Neither West Ham. So I'm gonna say a draw. I'm gonna say a 1-1 draw. I'm gonna play it safe. Definitely play it safe. Forest versus Leicester. Forest at home. They've been in good form lately. Gone through to the semifinal of the EFL Cup. They picked up a win against Southampton there as well. And this is a very good period for Forest to actually continue to climb. I think they're gonna get a result from this game. I'm gonna say another draw, man. 1-1 draw. Yeah, no, boring, but 2-1 draws there. Brighton versus Liverpool. This one is a hard call. This one is really tough to call. De Zerbi. Him and Leandro Trossard got something going on right now, so Trossard's not going to play. He might be dealing with some injury as well, but Trossard's not going to play this game. And I think the last time Brighton played Liverpool, didn't they beat Liverpool at Anfield? Let's just go back, man. Brighton, 3-3. Trossard scored a hat-trick. You see what I mean? And with Trossard not playing, even though they have some very, very good players in their team right now, and they blood in a new young striker and everything, Liverpool, man, Liverpool needs this badly. Last two games, not very good. 3-1 loss to Brentford and that 2-2 draw against Wolves. They need this. But the thing with Liverpool too, they have a lot of injuries they're dealing with right now, man. Luis Diaz, Virgil van Dijk, Arthur Melo, Diego Jota, James Milner, he's been out for a while. Darwin Nunez, he's kind of dealing with some injury, so it'll be a late fitness test. He's a big doubt. Stefan Bajcetic, picked up a knock as well. Roberto Firmino, we know he's out. So a lot of injuries to Liverpool right about now. This one is hard to call. It would take a lot of balls right now to actually predict a Brighton win. A lot. You see what I'm saying? It would take a lot of balls. But if I'm going to... this one is tough. Brighton has been playing good, though. Brighton has been playing some good football. 5-1 against Middlesbrough, 4-1 against Everton. They played well against Arsenal despite that loss, but they're scoring a lot of goals. You see that? They're scoring a lot of goals, man. Brighton are clicking right now. Brighton are clicking. Guys, I think Brighton are going to beat Liverpool tomorrow. I know it's controversial. I know you guys are going to say I have an agenda against Liverpool, but I do think that Brighton's going to win that game. Sorry, Liverpool fans, but it's going to be a dark day. I'll come back live tomorrow to talk about that one again. It's going to be a dark one. It's going to be a dark... Yeah, Marcel. Yeah, I know. I predict Liverpool wins most of the time. Most of the time. And you guys can't deny that. But I think Brighton is winning that game. Liverpool on the road. Darwin Núñez, even though he's not scoring, he's going to be absent. Cody Gakpo could come into play. Maybe a young Fabio Carvalho. You got Harvey Elliott, Mo Salah. Just not enough, in my opinion, man, to beat this very well-oiled, well-drilled Brighton team that's playing on top of their game right about now. Come on, let's be fair. Let us just be fair. Fair is fair, man. Fair is fair. Fair is fair. 3-1. Another 3-1 win for Brighton. 3-1. Embarrassing loss for Liverpool. Prove me wrong, Reds. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. All right? I know it's a ballsy prediction, but prove me wrong, Liverpool. So, Everton, Southampton. Man, Everton. Is Frank Lampard still in charge of Everton? Damn. Look, Southampton are coming off of a freaking big win there in the Carabao Cup. They'll have a lot of confidence, but do they have it in them to go up to Merseyside and pull that one off? It's going to be, a long trip up north. Southampton away from Everton need this big time. They need this. Southampton played well against City, but the Premier League is so funny. It is so funny. You pick up a great result against a top team when you're bottom of the Premier League, and you go in your next game in a 6-pointer against Everton and lose. I think Everton edged this one narrowly. 1-0. Everton. Frank Lampard's... Is Frank Lampard still in charge of... I can't believe with some of the results. I know he's not sacked, but he's under a lot of pressure, man. He's under a lot of pressure. They're in a relegation scrap right now. Frank Lampard explains Everton transfer delay and makes January intentions clear. So there might not be any, intention to sack him right now. You feel me? If you sack him, who you going to bring in? I don't know. What you going to do? I don't know, man. I don't really know who they're going to... Sam Allardyce? Sam Allardyce again? I don't think so. I really don't think so. So let's see, man. Let's see. Who is this? Everton be linked to the striker. Man. Terry Murphy. I thought I was going to say Terry Murphy, but I wasn't sure if that was him. So bring him in, man. Spend the cash and bring him in. Or you might go down. Definitely might go down. So, look. I'm going for an Everton win. I know it's controversial, but I'm predicting an Everton win, a Liverpool loss this weekend. But Everton need the win badly. Liverpool lose? Oh, man. They fall further behind. Got Brighton pretty high up the table right about now. Brentford, Bournemouth. Look, what Brentford did there against Liverpool without an Ivan Toney. Think about what they'll do if he's fit enough to play this game. In terms of the Ivan Toney situation right about now, Ivan Toney is fit again. He's fit again. He should play. Shandon Baptiste dealing with some injury as well. Pontus Janssen, Frank Onyeka. He's going to be out for some while. So is Pontus Janssen. They're going to be out for some time. But Brentford, Bournemouth. Bournemouth are in a bit of free fall right about now. They need results. I don't think this is the game they're going to get him in. 3-0 to Brentford. Chelsea Crystal Palace. Guys, drop your prediction in the chat. Do appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video. I think Chelsea bounced back in this game. Stamford Bridge. And I'm going to go for Chelsea. We're currently in free fall on the Graham Potter to win this one 2-1. Crystal Palace will score 1, but, even without João Felix, I think Chelsea would win at home. It would be funny to see if they lose, but, I think they'll win this one, just to be fair. Newcastle versus informed Fulham. Guys, I think this one's going to play to a draw. I'm going to say 0-0. Even though both teams are goal threats, I haven't predicted a 0-0 this weekend. I'm going to say 0-0. Great performances this season by both teams, but I think they're going to cancel each other out. And the big North London derby, baby. Arsenal, Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And this is the game that will test Arsenal's mettle. And look, if we go back to earlier in the season when I think they met Spurs already. I think they beat, didn't they? Yeah, they beat Spurs 3-1, right? We go back to this game. Thomas Partey, Harry Kane equalizer, but Gabriel Jesus, Granit Xhaka with those second half goals. Emerson Royale sent off. It's going to be a good one. Tottenham, they've not been in great form. They can't afford to lose. They really can't. Portsmouth, I think, this was a late, Harry Kane winner, 1-0, a 4-0 against Crystal Palace there, but they lost to Villa, drew to Brentford, that's a warm-up game, but those two draws, not the two draws, the two poor results there, the Brentford draw, they should have lost that game, came from 2-0 down, and the Aston Villa loss. Not looking good, right? Conte called out a lot of people in that interview as well. This is huge. And they have another big game coming up next Thursday against City. But this is huge. And look, I don't ask other teams for favors a lot, but Tottenham, man. Tottenham. Let's see what you're made of. It's a derby for crying out loud. Go out there and slap Arsenal hard. You see what I mean? Slap him up. The doubts are kicking in. Harry Kane, bro. Go do your thing. See what I'm saying? Kulusevski, go do your thing, man. Go do your thing. Perisic, y'all go do your thing. In terms of injuries, guys, for Spurs, Richarlison, he's coming back to fitness, but he's a doubt for this game. Kulusevski, late fitness test. He's Bissouma. He's back fit again. Rodrigo Bentancur is dealing with some injury as well. Lucas Moura will be ruled out. So Spurs, they do have most of their squad available to them. It's going to be a good one. Let me just put it out there. This is going to be a good one. For Arsenal, of course, Gabriel Jesus, he's been out injured. He won't play this game. Saka is a doubt, but he'll be okay for this game as well. Reece Nelson ruled out. So Arsenal pretty much at full strength. Spurs almost at full strength. This is going to be a good game. 11:30, my time, New York time, this Sunday. You don't want to miss it. Doesn't matter what's playing. You want to watch this game. It's going to be a good one. Antonio Conte versus Mikel Arteta to see what metal Arsenal are actually made of. Right? This could have serious repercussions on the title race. Because if Arsenal lose and Man City win, the gap becomes 2 points. And a two-point gap with Man City is nothing. It is nothing. It is not a lead. It is absolutely not a lead. Arsenal must win this game. Must win. Odegaard's been playing well. Saka's been on fire. Gabriel Martinelli. Nketiah, he has definitely come in and, slotted in. I don't want to use the word replace because he has a place in the team. He's come in and done well in place of Gabriel Jesus. Xhaka and Partey's playing well. They have the defenders, rotating and they're doing well. They do have a mistake or two in them. But Emil Smith-Rowe, he's back fit again. They do have some firepower off the bench that they could use, as well. So Arsenal, they look good. This one's going to be a hard one to call. You know what I mean? Spurs really can't afford to lose this North London derby. They've already done so already this season. And, oh, man, Heung-Min Son, he's going to need a big game. He's been having a poor season. Arsenal only one loss this season in the league. That came against Manchester United. Could Spurs do it? Let's look at the last few North London derbies at the Tottenham home stadium, man. Let's go. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this, man. I ain't make up my mind yet. So, Arsenal, this is Spurs, right? Last home game, they beat Arsenal 3-0. So, Arsenal at home, at the Emirates, really good. 3-1, 3-1, 2-1. But the last two times that they've been, the last three times they've visited the Tottenham Stadium, they've lost 3-0, 2-0, 2-1. They picked up a draw there in 2019, a 1-1 draw. So if we really go back, there used to be a better graphic on this website in terms of home and away and things like that, but I don't see it here anymore. It used to be a lot better, but they changed things up on the Transfermarkt website, right? So, look, let's go to all the matches. We want to make sure we get this right. Arsenal are going to need to do something very unprecedented in order to get a win here. They don't win at Tottenham quite a lot. They don't, right? Let's check the home matches for Spurs. Unbeaten, that's a draw. That's a win there, 2017-18, right? We go down 2016-17, that's another win, a draw. They did lose a League Cup match there, but you look at the Premier League games, a win. We look there. They did lose a league. The last time they lost a Premier League match was 13-14, 1-0 to Arsenal there at home. And it does not happen very often, guys. Don't. It really don't. You go back. You look, we're going back. You got to go to 7-8 for, so in the last 15 years, 2 wins. It's not happening, guys. It ain't happening. Arsenal are not winning the game. The doubts are kicking in. This is a pivotal weekend. Pivotal as pivotal comes. Arsenal are not winning the game. A draw would be a great result. I'm not going to write off a draw. But they're not winning. If they do win, man, might as well just go on and win the damn title. Because if they win and City lose, just go on and win the title already. You see what I mean? Because that would show a lot of character. That would show that this team has improved. And you can't judge the team from their past performances. They've turned a new leaf. You see what I mean? So, I'm going to have to play it safe. I'm going to say a 2-2 draw. They're not winning, but I don't have enough confidence in Spurs at all. A 2-2 draw, in my opinion. And I think that is very, 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 very fair. What about you guys? Do you think I made a fair assessment? As I think I did. We got Elijah Lawson, 2-1 to Spurs, 2-1 to Cesar. Elijah Lawson, 2-2 to Fulham and Newcastle. Crystal Palace to beat Chelsea. Brentford to smash Bournemouth. Southampton to beat Everton. BLE with a 1-1 draw as well. Nice. Appreciate you guys dropping your predictions there in the chat, man. So, guys, that's pretty much it for the Premier League weekend. Let's just go and let's just make sure we cover all bases. I think that was the last game, right? The Arsenal-Tottenham game was the last game that we got to talk about. This is what the table looks like, guys. Arsenal on top, 44 points. Man City second with 39. Newcastle third with 35 with a game played more than City and Arsenal. So let's say both Arsenal and City win their game. And Newcastle, they draw points. It'll be a nice gap. It's if Newcastle pick up 1 point, City win, that'll be a 6-point gap. It will be a 2-horse race between Arsenal and Manchester City. So Newcastle third, Man United fourth, Tottenham fifth. If Tottenham pick up a win and Man United lose, they'll jump up into the top four. So they need to win that game, man. They need Champions League next season. So you got to beat Arsenal. You got to beat your biggest rival. Fulham's doing well with on sixth. Liverpool seventh, 28 points. Brighton, if they do beat Liverpool, they'll leapfrog Liverpool. Liverpool will drop down. If Brentford win and Liverpool lose. If Liverpool lose this game, if they lose the game, they'll drop down to ninth if Brighton and Brentford win their matches. That ain't looking good at all, man. Ain't looking good at all. So it'll be Liverpool and Chelsea in free fall. Both of them in the mud. Both of them in the mud, man. So we got Chelsea rounding off the top 10, 25 points. Aston Villa, 25 points. Palace, 12th with 22. Leicester City, 13th with 17 points. Leeds do have 17. They lose today to Aston Villa. Forest climbing up the table, man, with only one loss in the last 5 games. They're doing well as of late under Steve Cooper, 17 points. Bournemouth definitely falling flat on their faces. 1 win and 4 losses in the last 5, 16 points. West Ham, just outside the relegation zone with 15 points. Everton do have 15 in the relegation zone. Wolves with 14 points. And Southampton at the bottom with 12 points. So that's what the Premier League looks like. Erling Haaland with 21 goals. Kane with 15. Ivan Toney with 12. Alexander Mitrovic 11. And Rodrigo with 10. Kevin De Bruyne with 9 assists. Saka, Christian Eriksen with 6. Iwobi, Andreas Pereira, Andrew Robertson, Ronaldo Silva, Dejan Kulusevski, Gabriel Jesus, Ivan Perisic, and Martin Odegaard with 5 apiece. And guys, with that being said, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. Let's take a look at some completed transfers and things like that that's been going on right about now. And how I'm going to do that, I'm going to go over to my Reddit page. Let's go down a Reddit rabbit hole right now, man. Let's go down a Reddit rabbit hole. Big up BLE who says 3-0 to Spurs as well. Marcel, 2-1 to Spurs. Marcel, what's your prediction for the Liverpool-Brighton game? Talk to me. What's your prediction? And guys, and on our sucker, there's actually 29,000 people in this Reddit subreddit right now. So what you do, if you go to our sucker subreddit, you could click new and you'll get all the latest updates, the news, big things that's going on in world football, man. So Antonio Conte confirms Lucas Moura will leave the club on a free. This is the decision of the club. His contract will not be extended. Tottenham Hotspur FC, this season is a difficult season for Lucas. Honestly, in my mind, when we planned the season, Lucas was an important player for us. So this is something late. I didn't see this, and this is why I actually love Reddit, because you get to find out a lot of football news and you get to stay up to date with what's going on. So right here, he's gonna leave on a free. I don't know if he's gonna do so at the end of the season or if he's gonna leave right now. So we scroll down. DiMarzio. Nico Gonzalez very close to Leicester. Parties will talk again on Monday to resolve the issue related to the percentage of the solidarity contribution, which is set at 5%. A considerable amount, with Leicester offer being 34 million. So Fabrizio Romano again. Napoli and Fiorentina are in talks over a possible swap deal between Pierluigi Golini and Salvatore Sirigu as backup goalkeepers. We were just talking Napoli, right? This is breaking, though. This is definitely breaking. So transfers, former Spurs goalkeeper Golini will join Napoli and Sirigu will join Fiorentina. Talks will continue next week at Sky Sports. All right. So that's some news there, guys. Apple TV set to enter bidding war for Premier League rights. Please, man, please. I don't want the thing going to Apple TV at all. I like it the way it is. NBC network. I like it the way it is right now because I don't want to have to subscribe to Apple TV just to watch some Premier League football. You feel me? So Marcel is saying 2-1-2 Liverpool. I gotta back my team, man. Yeah, you're going back your team every time to win. Come on, bro. Sometimes you have to assess the game and predict your team to draw or lose according to what it is. So Eric Winalda claims Greg Berhalter had a vendetta against Gio Reyna for the USA's World Cup campaign, as he says family feud started 8 or 9 months before the bombshell blackmail row after Claudio Reyna didn't keep Berhalter's son at Austin FC. Whoa, that's crazy. That is crazy, tit for tat. And you know, Chris, Football Paradise spoke a little bit about this while we did World Cup Digest, which we plan to bring back, but of course, we hit a snag. Definitely hit a snag. I think Pharaoh's laptop kind of died. So, plus we needed a little break, to be fair. But definitely looking to come back and do those once a week. But that is very interesting, man. Very interesting. Okay, you drop my son. Yeah, your son not playing at the World Cup. Okay. Egos, man. Egos always get in the way. So we got here Celta Vigo 1, Villarreal 1. I didn't realize there were La Liga matches. Or is that Copa del Rey? There are La Liga matches today? Yep, there's La Liga games today, man. But we don't really need to look at these games too much. But one game today, Celta Vigo and Villarreal playing to a 1-1 draw. That's a big result for Celta because Villarreal, they have been on absolute fire with Gerard Moreno scoring in the 15th minute and Jurgen Strand Larsen for Celta in the 68th. Big point for Celta Vigo at home, though. They dominated the game, 21 shots, 8 on target, 51% of the ball. Villarreal uncharacteristically under Setien with only 3 shots at goal and 1 on target, that goal. So Allegri after Napoli defeat. First of all, we have to give credit to Napoli. It was a deserved loss. No reason to get depressed, just like there was no reason, getting ahead of ourselves after 8 consecutive wins. It's a defeat and we move on. Well said, Allegri, because Juventus, they've definitely been in good form and they just, hit a very good team. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So Spalletti following Allegri to shake his hand. All right, let's see what happened here. I hope I don't get a copyright for this. Let me see. Oh! Whoa! Whoa! Damn, Allegri. Allegri forgot to shake Spalletti's hand, though. That's wild. That is wild. Big up to Jordan Hyman in the house. That is wild, though. Definitely. So, Jesse March left hanging by Luke Ayling. I think I saw this. Too. Oh, listen. Oh, my God. Listen, man. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's why I like Reddit, man. Reddit pick up a lot of things that we don't see during the matches, though. So, Juventus have conceded 5 goals in a Serie A match for the first time since May the 30th, 1993, 5-1 loss to Pescara. Furthermore, Napoli have scored 5 against the Bianconeri for only the second time in their history in the competition after November 1988. Wow. Kavica Kvaratskhelia. Napoli on absolute fire. Victor Osimhen. That's when you make good transfers, man. So it's paying off. Seattle Sounders FC trade 2 2023 international player slots to Charlotte FC for $350,000 of general allocation money. Man, to be honest, man, I don't understand how the MLS work at all, guys. MLS is a weird league. Just want to put it out there. I have never watched an MLS match in full. Never. Maybe that might change, though. I wanna go to a few matches in 2023. I think I'm gonna do that. Club Brugge deploys augmented reality to teach supporters how to resuscitate someone. Very, very good, man, because lately, and maybe before, a lot of people have been collapsing on football games. So we go down the Reddit rabbit hole. Chelsea's first official bid for Noni Madueke is 30 million euros. PSV want 45 million for the young English winger. God damn, man, Chelsea, you be linked with everybody. How much money is Chelsea gonna spend? And I think I ran into something about Noni Madueke, He, very talented player, of course. And if PSV is to lose him, like they lost Cody Gakpo, it could definitely mess with their charge to win the title over in the Eredivisie. You see what I mean? But that'll be big money. I don't think he's worth 45 million at all. And I think going to Chelsea might not be a good idea. Seriously. How much game time are you going to get? With Raheem Sterling, Christopher Nkunku, Kai Havertz, Christian Pulisic apparently not leaving, according to, what Graham Potter said. There's so many players, man, fighting for places. Hakim Ziyech. There might be a few outgoings, but I don't think that'll be a great signing at all. Not a good move for the young man, in my opinion. So, any opinions on Noni Madueke, guys? Reddit is overrated. Nah, bro. Nah, I don't believe that. That's your opinion, though. But Wolves announced the signing of Mario Lemina from Nice for 10 million. And remember Mario Lemina, formerly of Southampton, though. I think he went out on loan at a few clubs as well, but I think he was in Italy for some time, if I'm not mistaken. But Mario Lemina, definitely a very robust, energetic defensive midfielder. A bit of help needed for Ruben Neves in the midfield, though. So Wolves bolstering their squad. They have made the signing of Mateus Cunha permanent. And there's another one where Wolves are looking to sign Pablo Sarabia from PSG as well. I think that's already here we go. So pretty sure we're gonna bump into that. So what else we got? Man United officially signed Wout Weghorst on loan from Burnley until the end of the season. We did touch on that yesterday. And let me see what else we got here, man. Alex Merritt, great save to prevent Rachmani's own goal. That was indeed, a reflex save. Rachmani was horrible in the first half, though, but definitely got better as the game went on. Gerard Romero. Barca have offered Frank Kessié in exchange for Marcelo Brozovic. The farmer does not want to leave the club for now, and I think that's talking about Frank Kessié. That'd be crazy, right? That Frank Kessié would actually, who just joined Barcelona, would go back to the Serie A after he, left Atalanta for AC Milan, and then he'll be going to Inter Milan. That's kind of weird, but it could definitely happen. But if I'm Frank Kessié, that's for real. I spent enough time in Italy. I don't want to go back right now. I don't want to go back. I want to stay at Barcelona. So, Frank Kessié, bro, come to the Premier League. Pretty sure a club in the Premier League would appreciate you a lot more than Barcelona have. So, let's scroll down. Let's see what else we run into in terms of some news, some tidbits. Bartomeu. I want to make it clear that I didn't authorize Messi's contract to be leaked. Yeah, there's always talk about Barcelona and Messi. Always. So let us see. This one is big. This one is absolutely hard to believe, though. This is hard to believe. You see what I'm saying? This is hard to believe. Big up to Jan in the house. Jan, I actually did not schedule the stream because I didn't know if I was going to go live. You know what I'm saying? So I just go live on the fly. Messi has received an offer for 350 million euros per season by Al Hilal and Al Ittihad. That is absolutely nuts. We know they have money to burn over in Saudi Arabia, right? Ronaldo went to Al Nassr for 200 million euros per season. And the folks over in Saudi Arabia are looking to play FIFA by, well, I guess it's the new Chinese Super League, right? By spending a shitload of money to bring Messi from PSG to either Al Hilal, one of the most successful clubs in Saudi Arabia, and Al Ittihad, who's had a lot of success as well, the yellow and blacks, for 350 million per season. What would I do if I'm Lionel Messi? What would I do? He's already making a whole lot of money. He did while he was at Barcelona, endorsements and all that good stuff. He's making a lot of money at PSG. Would he want to one-up Cristiano Ronaldo once again? Want to World Cup ahead of Ronaldo? Think he won more Ballon d'Ors now than Ronaldo, right? Think one more, if I'm not mistaken. And Messi could win the Ballon d'Or again. But, well, I don't think Ronaldo could win another Ballon d'Or from Saudi Arabia. But would I take it if I'm Messi? Should he take it? 350 million per season. This is absolute nuts. If I'm Messi, I say, you know what, man? Sign me up for 3 seasons. Pay me a billy. And I walk off into the sunset. Set for life. Even though I think he's set for life already, his great grandchildren will be set for life hundreds of years from now. It's tempting, right? It's tempting. But would he want to maybe tarnish his legacy by going to Saudi Arabia to play? Or would he want to finish at the highest level, staying at PSG? I don't think he's going back to Barcelona. But would he want to stay at PSG for a couple more seasons and then just retire than actually take one of these big retirement packages that's offered to him by the Saudi Arabian League or by a team in the MLS? Let's see what Messi does. But let me know your thoughts on this, guys. Talk to me. Big up, BLE. See you soon, bro. Nice if you're coming through. So that's another one. That's a new one. So Junior have reached an agreement to sign one Fernando Quintero. Well, he's going back to play in Colombia. Remember Juan Quintero had a very good, I think 2018 World Cup. Pretty good in 2018. Used to play Europe as well. So Rodri's stats compared to other Premier League defensive midfielders. I don't think we're going to go into this too much, but Rodri, his stats are good. Stats are all in the green. Thomas Partey, has a couple reds, has a couple yellows. You got Hybier looking okay, but Rodri has like maybe one red. Goals. He's not a goal scorer. Interceptions maybe. So according to this chart, Rodri is the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League by far. But we won't argue that at all. So Cadena SCR, Jose Rodriguez ends his stint in Turkey after 6 months. His contract has been terminated by Ankaragucu. And guys, it's crazy, right? Jose is one of these weird footballers, though, because remember he used to be at Real Madrid. I think he won a Champions League with Real Madrid already. And then he went to PSG for some time, man. So he does like reggaeton as well. It's weird. Very weird. And he's only 29 years old. Another very, very weird career when you really look at it. The man has 2 Champions Leagues. This is absolutely nuts. Jose has 2 Champions Leagues. Like, this is... He has a La Liga. Look, he was at Real Madrid for quite some time as a young player. He won the French league as well with PSG. Oh, damn, give it up to Hasey, man. In the Turkish league, he played 14 matches, scored twice, picked up an assist. In the cup, he had 2 appearances, scored 3 goals. So it has to be his attitude or his behavior or something he did. Why, his contract got terminated. But Hasey, I'm telling you, is just a weird career, man. Very, very weird. Came to the Real Madrid setup, right, as a youngster. And he was a revelation, winning a couple Champions Leagues, right? Got sold to PSG for 25 million, didn't really work out, went to Las Palmas. He even went to Stoke City, if you guys could recall, when Stoke was last in the Premier League, which is crazy. Couple loan spells, Betis, Sporting, Las Palmas again on a free, and then his last club, Ankara Gaku. He's only 29 years old. So the weird career of Hasey Rodriguez. So we keep it moving though. Jan, it's all right, bro. You guys could always pull that whole. You guys could always pull this whole Champions League thing. It's old, bro. It's old. We all know that Fabinho is hot garbage this season. We all know that. We don't even need to have an argument about that. It's a fact. Not even an opinion of mine. So Bayern Munich and Salzburg in a warm-up game, 4-4. It looks like. What else we got here? Besiktas terminate loan contract of Wout Weghorst and receive a termination fee of 2.8 million euros. Good on Besiktas, man. Good on Besiktas, It's a weird transfer, though, but maybe Wout Weghorst would actually be, a good impact substitute. So, Walid Regragui. Spain is the best team we played against in the World Cup. If we hadn't eliminated them, they could have reached the final. They were missing a striker, possibly, but they had a confidence in the game that other teams didn't have. Okay, Walid. All right, okay. So the Chan in Africa is, commencing as well. It's under 23 competition over in Africa. Brighton and Hove Albion announced Facundo Buononate, yet another young player from South America, signed. And with Leandro Trossard going out of favor. And the only solution that I'm hearing for the Trossard situation is Trossard being sold. Let's see where Leandro Trossard would go. But look, man, even though Trossard is leaving, they actually blooded a new young striker. I don't even remember his name off the top, but he's scored 2 goals already. And they're bringing in new talent from South America. So PSVC Dynamo Kiev's Viktor Shigankov as main candidate to replace Cody Gakpo, but high transfer fee and wage demands will make it difficult to sign him. Yeah, it would be nice to see Viktor Shigankov, make a move from the Ukrainian league, though. Wolves are set to sign Pablo Sarabia on a permanent deal from PSG. Here we go soon, as reported by Fabrizio Romano. So Mario Lemina signed Joao Gomez and Pablo Sarabia, along with, of course, what's his name? Mateus Cunha. So Wolves in the relegation zone are doing everything possible to stay in the Premier League. And I don't blame them, though. I really don't blame them, because it took them a lot to get up in the league. They've become a staple over the last 5 or so seasons. And now, sad to see that they're struggling since Nuno Espirito Santo left. He felt like he couldn't do anything more with the team. Bruno Lage came in. He got sacked after a season. And now it's Lopetegui, who wasn't doing well with Sevilla after he got sacked. So let's see how Wolves fare as the season progresses. So, Matt Law, Chelsea consider squad clear out in move to end era of player power at Stamford Bridge. Whoa, and that's on the Telegraph. That's crazy. 6 hours ago. squad clear out. A squad clear out that could actually stop player power would actually mean maybe Aspilicueta leaving. You know, players who have been around for some time. You know, who else come to mind? Jorginho, of course. Not many players come to mind, but definitely those two that I mentioned there. So 9 months after his last game, according to our information at Foot Mercato, Hatem Ben Arfa is still looking for a challenging project and hasn't retired yet. So let's see where Hatem Ben Arfa would actually go though. So Ben Arfa, man, one of the most talented players of his generation, 35 years old these days, half French, half Tunisian, just have not lived up to potential, in my opinion, man. I don't know what it is. Just I think Hatem Ben Arfa just have problems, you know what I mean, wherever he goes. So Ben Arfa, in terms of his career, was an Olympic Lyon youth player, and he played at Lyon, joined Marseille from Lyon. So that's controversial already to go from Marseille to Lyon. Then he joined Newcastle from Marseille, spent some time at Newcastle, and he was actually there on loan. Went back to Marseille, but then was bought permanently by Newcastle back in 2011. Played there for some seasons before he went to Hull on loan, and then he left Newcastle in 2015. And I actually remember when he joined OGC Nice, you know, spent a season there, did okay, and then joined PSG on a free. Spent a couple years at PSG, big move, won a couple titles, and then he left PSG, went to Rennes, didn't spend long at Rennes, left Rennes, went to Valladolid, didn't spend long there, left Valladolid, went to Bordeaux, didn't spend long there either, went to Lille, and then left Lille. So he's been a journeyman, and it's just the way he leaves his clubs. It's just weird, man. It's just weird. It's just really, really weird. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5, 6 clubs that he's just left in weird situations. Can't really hold down a long-term contract. And maybe that's why no team's actually been touching him for the last 9 months. You know what I mean? So let's see where Ben Arfa goes. So what else we got, man? What else we got? You know, this actually you find a lot of nice little articles on here though. So Jose Mourinho said Coppa Italia, it is missing the beauty of playing in a full Serie C stadium. Okay. All right, nothing more to add about that. So let me see. Defender Kamil Piatowski is not part of the squads today due to a contract negotiations with another club. So Red Bull Salzburg player on the move. You know, what else we got here? Guys, don't forget to smash up the thumbs up button. We'll definitely appreciate it. So Ben Jacobs for CBS. Chelsea still told no plans to sack Graham Potter after the loss to Fulham. Potter informally assured by board members during the World Cup break that he would be backed during the window and given time to shape a squad with his identity. And I think it's only fair to Graham Potter. You know what I'm saying? I think it's only fair. Look at the man shaving up, grooming himself nicely, you know, looking, you know what I mean, looking spiffy, swaggerific. At Brighton, as I mentioned many times, he used to wear his pajamas to the games. You see what I mean? But anyways, 2022 African Nations Championship, that is called the CHAN, kicks off today in Algeria. And I think Morocco is not actually involved because Algeria not giving them permission to fly from Morocco to Algeria into the airspace. It's just weird, but okay. So Burnley interested in €1 million swoop for PSV's Jensen Silt. Also exploring a 1.5 million move for Hjalmar Ekdal at Djurgården. Offers made. Give it up to Burnley though. Burnley are making some very, very good signings, some moneyball type signings, and they're proven to pay off, where Burnley are on the cusp of returning to the Premier League only a season after they left. Leandro Trossard and his agency have released a statement in Dutch, and it says, bottom line, he won't sign a new deal. A transfer is the only solution. So Leandro Trossard, who's been very, very, very prolific at Brighton, is on the move. And I don't really like the way he's leaving the club, but look, he's 28 years old, valued around 30 million euros. He's been doing well, 7 goals, 3 assists in 16 appearances this season. And in terms of what he did last season, it's very, very good. He only got 8 goals last season. So in 16 appearances to score 8 goals to actually have one of your best seasons in only 16 matches, I think, a move is good with Brighton actually replacing him pretty well up top. You got to give it to Brighton and their scouting. It'll do them. It'll help them out to balance off the books with a Trossard sale. I don't think he will go for a whole lot of money because it will be difficult to negotiate because the player wants to actually leave. But with Evan Ferguson coming in, doing well, 18 years old, you got Koaru Mitoma playing well. You got Dennis Undav in the squad. You got Julio Enciso. You know what I mean? You got Boanunate brought in. Jeremy Sarmiento as well. I think they'll be okay. Even though Trossard is a deadly player, I think they'll be okay, man. I really think they'll be okay. So, look, guys, let me know where you think Leandro Trossard could actually go. But he's not been featuring in the Brighton team under De Zerbi for some time. And the manager did say that Trossard, he left training early and he got dropped from the team because of that. So I don't think, okay, right here, guys. Trossard left the training session without saying anything. I spoke with him on Monday and told him that his attitude I don't like. If he wants to play, he has to work hard and run. I'm open to listen, but he has to understand I only want players who work hard and play for the team. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. The manager demands something out of you, and it's only fair that you show the manager and play with some enthusiasm during training and while you're on the football field as well. So Sebastian Haller just scored a 7-minute hat-trick in a friendly versus Basel, his first game back after undergoing 2 surgeries and chemo for cancer. Oh, man, let's give it up to Sebastian Haller, man. I hope he does beat the cancer and it doesn't come back and he goes on to have a very, long life. Forget about the career. Hope he has a very, very, very long life, man. So what we have here? What can the Dutch keeper say to him, Lautaro, right? Bowler VIP Argentina. And Netherlands-Argentina penalties. What can the Dutch keeper say to him to say to Lautaro? Lautaro barely understands Spanish. What? He wouldn't understand shit in English, Nico Tagliafico. Lautaro barely understands Spanish? Wow, that is funny. Is that some type of joke that I don't get? He does speak Spanish, right? Or does he speak Italian? I don't even know. I don't even know the joke here. Most expensive loan fees per month in history. Look at this one, guys. Joao Felix, man, 1.9 million per month, which means that the red card would indeed cost Chelsea 1.9 million. Because that's how long he's going to be missing for one whole month. Higuain, Juventus to AC Milan. The whole loan fee was 10 million euros. Joao Felix, 11 million. Pablo Mari, the total loan fee as well. Well, I don't think that was that a loan fee? From Flamengo to Arsenal, 8 million. That was a silly move, man. And I think Man City got some money for that as well. Pablo Mari was a complete failure, and he's still failing as well. I think he scored like an own goal, or he was responsible for I think he's in the Serie A right now. Gonzalo Higuain involved in another one. From Juventus to Chelsea, 7.8 million euros. Chelsea are on the list twice. Lo Celso from Betis to Spurs, 16 million. This is crazy. I didn't even remember that. 16 million for loan fee though. And Lo Celso never lasted at Spurs. That's nuts. Said Benrahma 4.4 to West Ham. Well, that was done so that the deal would eventually be permanent. So Sahin, Yuri Sahin, man. Remember him? The former Borussia Dortmund wonder kid from Real Madrid to Liverpool. Okay. Simone Zaza. Oh my God, who remembers that penalty? 5 million loan fee from Juventus to West Ham. Fernando from Spartak Moscow to, what is that, a Chinese club? I remember that Fernando kid. I used to use him in FIFA all the time. He was a beast. Whatever became of him. Chelsea again. But this is Atletico Madrid being involved though. 18 million for the loan fee, and that was done so that the deal would eventually be made permanent though. So that is crazy. Chelsea always makes some real dumb transfers, I have to say. But you know what the Chelsea fans could say to me? At least we got 2 Champions Leagues, Dom. At least we got 2. Okay, so PSV coach Ruud van Nistelrooy confirmed there is interest in Noni Madueke. I know there is interest, but as a trainer, you prefer to keep your best players. Situations can arise where clubs can come in with an offer that cannot be stopped. So Noni Madueke, Chelsea probably going in for the young Englishman as well, playing over in the Dutch league. So let us go. And this is nuts. I didn't even notice. Antalya Spawn manager Nuri Sahin protects the referees from his own players. Sahin is probably like 30-something years old right now. I didn't even know he was a manager. Seriously. And I was just talking about Nuri Sahin. 34 years old. 34 years old. Nuri Sahin. Wow. I didn't know he was a manager. I swear. I didn't know. So, played for Turkey 52 times. Of course, he was born in Germany. And he was a Dortmund wonder kid, guys, as you guys could recall. Went to Feyenoord on loan. Went to Real Madrid. Didn't work out. Went to Liverpool. Didn't work out. And went back to Dortmund for some time. Real Madrid, between Real Madrid and Dortmund. Then Werder Bremen, 2018. Stayed there for some seasons. Then went to Antalyaspor, where he retired. He retired last year and became the manager of Antalyaspor. So give it up to Nuri Sahin, man. Give it up to him, you know. So a report released by the UK Football Policing Unit shows that a 10% increase in arrests at matches and a 230% increase in new football banning orders. Wow. Okay, Eddie Howe is considering dropping Joelinton for Newcastle United's Premier League game against Fulham on Sunday after the 26-year-old was charged with drunk driving. Yeah, I forgot to talk about this one yesterday, but shame on you, Joelinton. Come on, man. You're a professional footballer. I'm not saying you can't have a beer or whatever, but come on, man. Being drunk and driving, come on. You are a professional footballer. If you get into an accident, it's a wrap for you. You see what I mean? It's a wrap for you, man. You're going to be out for some time. Let someone drive. Take an Uber, for crying out loud. We're living in the age where you could just take an Uber to get somewhere and take the Uber going back. It is absolutely irresponsible of Joelinton, man. What on earth is going on at Sevilla? A video on YouTube by HITC7s. Okay. Zambian football legend Philemon Malula has died after being attacked by his own dogs. This is absolutely crazy. And this is why I like Reddit, man, because you run through these articles like this, but that is nuts. Imagine being killed by your own dogs. Wow. So, Vietnam 2, Thailand 2, final of the AFF Cup, the first leg. I didn't know it was a two-legged affair. So, it's Vietnam and Thailand in the final there. Okay. I wanted to follow this tournament, but it's really hard to keep, keep tabs on that one. So Burnley signed Belgian under 21 defender Amin Al Dakil from St. Truden. Go ahead, Burnley. Do your thing. Keep signing up these talented young players en route back to the Premier League. So let's keep it moving, man. Let's keep it moving. BBC to show Preston Spurs and Wrexham Blades in the FA Cup. So I don't know if that interests you, but this is the last thing that I've seen on Reddit before, the newer tweets about Danny Van de Beek being out for the rest of the season. The tweet has been deleted. I don't know why, but yeah, poor Danny Van de Beek, man. When it seems like if he was gonna be involved some more at Chelsea, what am I saying? Man United, he picks up an injury that'll put him out for the rest of the season. Danny Van de Beek used to be cooking at Ajax, of course. So Chelsea launched medical review into injury crisis due to player fears. All right. So guys, I think that's where we're gonna land the plane on today's live stream. Do appreciate everybody who actually came out. Big up to Jan, who says without Amrabat, Kudos, and Coop Miners, Anthony Silva or Kim Menje, we will not make it to the top 4. So you thinking Liverpool gonna sign any of those guys? Man, you guys already signed Cody Gakpo. That's a lot of signings for Liverpool for the winter. I don't think y'all are gonna sign anybody else. One the most. I did touch on the Eredivisie yesterday though. So yeah. But guys, thanks for tuning in to yet another a 2-hour stream. We were live yesterday, live again today. Just wanted to talk about the derby coming up tomorrow, the derby on Sunday, and touch on that massive game between Napoli and Juventus. So guys, from your boy Dom, thanks for tuning in to yet another one. Like the video if you haven't yet done so, subscribe if you're new. And until next time, peace out. Rich Squad. Peace, guys. Much love, respect. I'm out.